in the middle of drawing my building with ink. No, not ink, acrylic paint. And this particular color is carbon black. Close enough. I am working off an old acrylic skin. You can see through the light blue film of the plexiglass at the paint skin. It is inside a transparent bag for protection.
These are a little different.
Just do it.
Okay. Go.
I love making absolute black lines with a brush. There's something so comic book about it. I love seeing muscular lines in comic artists like Walt Kelly and Lee Elias. This building is taken from the memory of an actual building in Los Angeles. How does that work? I mean, taking an image from the memory of something? In this case, I used to hike along the streets of Boyle Heights when I used to live there. At the end of my city hike was an old Sears building, and I would always take a moment to admire it. It was something that would take me back to childhood. I didn't grow up in LA, but we had buildings like this before they started tearing them down all around the country. I did several paintings and drawings of this building before I gave it a rest. I do hope to return to this wonderful landmark one day soon, even after not having seen the real thing for years. Drawing the memory of something is different from drawing it from observation. First of all, it almost never looks the same. Second of all, what you are depicting is not the thing itself so much as your memory of it. In other words, the things you are drawing are the details that called out to you. The proportions are distorted by what you thought was more important.
Should I do it again?
If you want.
Can I?
In those days in Boyle Heights, I would take my city walk to the building and then come back home. Each time I would mentally take a few more kernels of information. I would compare the towering facade with the lower parts of the building to understand its proportions in one hike. I would memorize some of the intricate details this old building had in another hike. I was slowly absorbing as much as I could so that I could take it back to the studio and make a likeness of it. Mind you, this is not the portrait of an actual building. It is the depiction of a residue of a memory. When I used to take those hikes, it was an abandoned building. I don't really know what it is right now, if they're using it or not. Since this is a historical building, you could probably look it up. You could look it up and compare the similarities and differences with my interpretation of it. If you look up Sears' historical building close to Boyle Heights, for example, you should be able to get some images.
Which one's kind of messy? And it gets swirled. And look how much people did this.
Sometimes you include things that are more symbol and less memory. For example, in this one, you can see the bars in the lower left.
Now this one is different. A little bit.
They're supposed to represent the crosswalk. I do remember the crosswalk, but I don't think it came from that angle or was in such close proximity to the center of the building. If it were the real crosswalk, it would have been too far to the left to have been included in the picture plane. I did include it because I wanted the viewer to get the clear feeling that this was a street that was in front of the building rather than some plaza or something else. It was also there because it was a detail I felt was important, since I did remember it because I did in fact cross that crosswalk to get a closer look at the building. If you like what you see, please like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell icon so that you can be notified when a new video is released. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram.